want to start by thanking Ms. Smith, Ms. Kelly, and Ms. Cabot for their assistance, guidance, and help through the season. These coaches gave graciously of their time and enthusiasm, and I so appreciated their patience, perspective, humor, and insights this fall. I'm especially thankful for the contributions of Ms. Smith. She's been a truly outstanding coach these past 3 years, and the entire team and I are so appreciative of her many contributions to the program. I also want to thank the team for an outstanding year. To be honest, this is one of my most rewarding and enjoyable seasons as a coach. I stand before you all today honored to report that I had the chance to help coach a great group of young women. And truth be told, I wasn't sure what the makeup of this team would be like when the season started. On a team of 21 runners, we only had 6 returning after graduating a big class last year. So I was nervous about what the team dynamic would be. In my 7 years as coach, we've been blessed with outstanding senior leaders that have passed on a team atmosphere rich in resilience, hard work, and fun. But with only 6 returning runners, I didn't know if that tradition would still be passed on. But we got lucky on 3 fronts. First, we had a great group of returning runners. And Robin, Carolyn, Charlotte, Jamie, Clara, and Bertie worked hard to pass on the lessons taught to them by Georgina Rupp, Sarah Kemmer, Erin Garrity, Sidney Caldwell, Sarah Kahn, Vivian Smith, Phoebe Matthews, Hannah Schechter, Sarah Harrelson, and Rebecca Otis. Second, we had a great group of girls come walking through the door. Sola, Aggie, Jessie, Gerbing, Susanna, Tabasia, Isabel, Abigail, Eunice, Allison, Carberry, Olivia, Izzy, Emma, and Caitlin did a wonderful job of buying into what we were trying to do as a team. And I'm forever thankful for their willingness to jump in to a new program with such enthusiasm and dedication. Of course, the heart and the soul of the team were nurtured by the generous contributions of our 6 formers. And while I have more to say about Robin in a little bit, I want to take a moment to thank Sola and Carolyn for their leadership and their generosity. Sola was brand new to the sport, and she was an absolute joy to coach. She took her fitness seriously, and she worked hard to become a varsity runner. More impressively, she modeled what it meant to be a successful varsity athlete, and it was wonderful to see her work with our younger runners. Sola did remarkable work as a senior leader this fall that will pay dividends for the spirit of the team and the girls she mentored for years to come. Carolyn returned to cross country after rehabbing all of last fall. She'd been a successful runner as a 3rd and 4th former, but she missed running with the team last year, and we missed her. This year, however, Carolyn returned with a vengeance. She worked hard to get back into racing, and she was a positive force of supportive and energetic goodness each and every day. I am so thankful for Carolyn's daily enthusiasm. It was wonderful to have her back on the team, and I'm forever thankful that she worked so hard to come back on a team that she loved so much. To Sola, Carolyn, and certainly Robin, as I will detail shortly, I hope the 3 of you realize how large a role you had to play in every one of the team and individual successes I'm about to mention and honor. And on to the awards. With a team full of so many runners, it was tremendously difficult to pick a most improved runner, and we coaches really struggled in our selection. We could have chosen Izzy Navarro for cutting 7+ minutes off of her time, or Lily Carlson for cutting her time from around 35 minutes to a remarkably impressive 25:46 by the end of the season, a time that would have earned her a spot on our varsity last year. We could have chosen Susanna or Eunice, 2 new runners who worked hard to get their times under the 25-minute threshold, or we could have chosen Carberry or Olivia, both of whom were new runners and both of whom ended up working their way onto varsity. Not to be outdone, Aggie ended up being one of our top 3 runners in almost all conference. This from a girl who was not sure if she would ever even finish her first race of the season. But in the end, it was impossible for us to ignore the tremendous improvement of one Clara Lee. Clara was brand new to the sport last year, and she made some nice strides as a 3rd former. But there was something noticeably different in Clara's approach this year. Clara returned to school this fall as a true runner, and Ms. Smith and Ms. Kelly immediately identified the change. It's hard to quantify when an athlete becomes a runner, but as a coach, you know it when you see it. It's not a shift that can be measured in one's times, though they typically get faster. It's the way an athlete approaches practices, training, and races. And this year, it was clear that Clara had turned herself into a runner, as she put in an outstanding summer of fitness and took each practice seriously. If you were to ask Ms. Smith and Ms. Kelly what their favorite moment of the year was, I bet they would say it was watching Clara run hard during one speed workout on a particularly rainy and cold day. For on this day, Clara went charging through the puddles as she worked hard to successfully stick to her splits. That might not sound like much, unless you watch 3rd form Clara run a similar workout on a similar rainy day. As a third former, Clara would daintily tiptoe around each puddle in order to keep her white shoes clean and dry. I have to be honest, I've never wanted to nudge a child into the mud as much as I did while watching Clara finesse each and every puddle. But I didn't, in part because of the laws protecting the welfare of children, but mostly because Ms. Smith and Ms. Kelly took the right approach of encouraging, prodding, and challenging Clara to push herself to greater heights. And that's exactly what Clara achieved this season. Clara, it was a joy to see you transform yourself into a runner this year. You diligently prepared for the season by working hard over the summer. You cut your personal best time down to a very competitive 26:05, and you were a model of hard work, dedication, and resiliency. In the process, please know that you earned the respect of your teammates and coaches. It was a joy to watch you get your shoes dirty this fall, and we're honored to award you this year's Most Improved Runner. This year's Most Valuable Runner award was equally difficult to select, as this year we essentially had 3, if not 4, number 1 runners, and my entire top 5 finished within a minute of each other at the state meet. Aggie, Emma, and Caitlin ran the first mile together of nearly every race, and at the state meet, Charlotte finished right on Aggie's heels. But in the end, as I watched each race and pored over the results, it was clear that Caitlin Perazzo had clearly established herself as our most valuable runner this season. She was our number 1 finisher in 3/4 of our races, and she led a very fast St. Andrews girls cross country team. This is a team that won the Middletown Invitational, took 3rd at the Salesianum Invitational, took 2nd at the conference meet behind a Tatnall team ranked 4th in the nation, and earned an outstanding 5th place finish at the state meet. It is a testament to Caitlin's speed and poise on the race course that she was able to set the pace for such a strong and fast team. Furthermore, Caitlin assembled an impressive list of individual accomplishments. She medaled at the Middletown and Salesianum Invitational. She broke the 3rd form record for our parents' weekend cross-country course. She earned a spot on the all-conference and all-county teams, and she was 1 place away from earning all-state meet honors. Along the way, Caitlin raced with humility, poise, and a strong competitive fire. Caitlin is a runner who wants to do well, and she logs in hours of training that help achieve her goals. As we are graduating only 3 runners, it's exciting to look ahead to think of what Caitlin and all the underperformers can accomplish next year. But it's equally important to stand back and take a look at Caitlin's remarkable accomplishments this year as she put together an outstanding campaign this season and truly earned this year's Most Valuable Runner Award. Saving the best for last, choosing this year's Coaches Award was easy for the coaching staff, as we were in universal agreement that Robin Kim deserved this award. Robin just completed her 3rd year of racing for the team, and I was blown away by how much she improved as a racer, runner, and leader this year. Robin joined us in her 4th form year after a successful year of racing on Middletown High School's varsity team. She came to the program as a talented runner, and she has always raced on our varsity. But in her first 2 years, Robin finished each season feeling she could have given a little more to the team. In my end-of-year conversations with her, she would always reflect that she could have prepared a bit more, worked a little bit harder. This year, it was clear that Robin entered the season determined to give everything she had, so that she would finish the season without any regrets, and she was tremendously successful in that goal. This season, she ran her best times as a St. Andrews runner, and she was a model of consistency and determination on the fastest varsity team of which she has been a part. But we're not giving this award to Robin because of her impressive results. We're giving this award to Robin because of her generosity with each of her teammates and her dedication to the program. Robin was a varsity runner who cared deeply about the success of the JV runners. She was a senior who made sure that the youngest runners were feeling included and supported. And she is an occasionally reserved young woman who wanted to make sure that the team was full of energy and spirit and passion. Robin was stretched in great ways by the position of captain this year, and, as surprising as it sounds, at times she felt like she was letting the girls down and falling short of the benchmark set by our previous captains. Robin, in my final words as your cross-country coach, I want to make the following clear. You were an outstanding captain this year, and there was not a single day that you let us down. You got the girls ready for races. Each and every girl felt supported by your leadership, and you got the girls to buy into our culture of hard work, dedication, and playfulness. When we needed to stretch more as a team, you established a routine that worked beautifully within our practice structure. You knew when to call for a yay day, and you knew when to ask the girls to display their intensity by wearing all black to practice. You cared about your own performance in a way that showed the other girls how to care about one's racing without being self-absorbed. And as much as I liked watching Clara charge through the puddles this year, my favorite moment of the season was watching you outduel Archmere's 4 and 5 as you charged down the straightaway at the state meet. Watching you pull ahead, fall back, and ultimately work your way past those two girls will be forever etched in my memory. As you crossed the finish line tenths of a second in front of those two girls, I remember raising my hands in the air, giving a loud yell, and hearing my inner voice say, "I never want to stop coaching because I want to be part of more moments like that." That thought was born partly out of the intensity of the moment, but it was primarily born out of your inspiring commitment, your growth as a runner, and your selfless leadership. And for that, I personally thank you. Please accept this year's Coach's Award as our way of thanking you for all that you gave to the team and the program as this year's captain.